Hello everyone, I'm Brett, and welcome to Nightwood Guns. Today we are looking at the T.Rex Arms new sidecar holster. A subscriber actually sent this in to me after he saw my Tier 1 Concealed Axis Elite review. Before we get into the review, I am so excited that my last video that was about a revolver was finally monetized with no restrictions, and I made $1.04 off of it. So if you would like to support the channel, see it continue to grow, and see some bigger, greater videos from me, check the links in the description below. I have a brand new Patreon, would love to see your support over there. And if you really want to make my day, I'm an author of 2 epic short novels. Link is in the description below to my books on Amazon. Be sure to like the video, leave a comment down below, and subscribe and hit the notification bell because I'm going to be doing a comparison video with the Axis Elite. So stay tuned for that. And as per the usual with my reviews, I'm going to be going over the holster, then what I like about it, and then finally, constructive criticism, things that I might not like about it. So be sure to stick around to get my honest takes on this holster. So let's hop right in. First of all, if you've been around my channel for a while, you'll know that I've been rocking a Tier 1 Concealed Axis Elite in some way, shape, or form for coming up on 3 years now. We're getting close. So the sidecar style holster is definitely my preferred method of concealed carry. Now obviously Tier 1 Concealed and T.Rex Arms are 2 of the biggest players in the sidecar style AIWB holster game. So first of all, something that I do like about sidecar style holsters is since I am a thinner person, I like having the gun and the magazine carrier up front, because that way I don't have a bulge over one half of my belt line. It actually smooths out and it gives me an equal bulge at the front. I'm covering up my mouth with the magazine. The sidecar style holster with the gun and the magazine up front gives me a nice and equal bulge across, I'm covering it up again. It gives me a nice even bulge across the front of my belt line, right in the middle, on the right, and on the left that creates negative space for my shirt to drape over. That way it doesn't look like I got a Duma on half of my body. Now the old T.Rex Arm sidecar holster, I actually tried out a buddy's. It did not have a hinge right here. It was just solid across, and that was my biggest complaint about it because it was basically just frozen in this configuration, and it did not conceal well. The whole thing moved together. It didn't really have any flexibility, so it was not comfortable, and I really struggled to conceal it. So I love that T.Rex Arms added this hinge system so that it can flex across your belt line, and it just makes it so much more comfortable. Now the coolest thing about this holster, and in my opinion what really sets this apart from other holsters on the market, is the way that they've designed this hinge system. You can pull this pin out and put other sidecar attachments onto the holster, including just another clip right here so that you can just have, no magazine, which means you can wear it at 3 or 5 o'clock if you want to. Or if you want a separate magazine select your character.
Choose your character. Dr. Mario.
Or if you wanted a separate magazine carrier, maybe you want to split the gun and the mag to be on either side of your body, you can do that as well. There are other cool attachments you can get to replace the magazine character, such as a tourniquet holder, a handcuff holder, a mag carrier for an AR-15 mag. I mean, definitely check out the T.Rex Arms website for the sidecar to see all the different things you can attach to this depending on your needs. To me, this is innovative, cool, and deserves praise. I'm all about options and accessibility, and the T.Rex Arms sidecar holster excels. The construction and craftsmanship on this holster is excellent quality. I think they found a nice design here that they can pump out the door, quickly enough. It's not taking them forever to put in all of these different molds. They found a nice, mainstream way to get a flexible sidecar style holster out the door in an efficient way. The molding is precise. The edges are all cleaned up. This is what I look for in attention to detail and quality in holsters, and this passes with flying colors. It is just exemplary in its fit and finish. The actual fit of the gun in the holster is absolutely perfect and everything that I look for, and that includes the magazine carrier. Everything about this screams quality. You can tell that the design and the production of these holsters are done with just a true passion for creating the highest quality product that they can. So I just want to say, if you were leaning towards the T.Rex Arms sidecar and you've decided to go this way, or you've already purchased one and you're waiting for it, you did not make a bad choice. This is a very high quality holster. That being said, let's take a look at a couple of the negatives and maybe some constructive criticism that I have. So the first thing that I have to mention is, much like a Tier 1 concealed holster, the first thing I would do is replace these plastic clips with discreet carry concept clips. Do the plastic ones work? Yeah, absolutely. But these discreet carry concept clips are much thinner, and because of that, they are much more concealable, and they are metal. You can use them without a belt or with a belt, and you just cannot get the holster off of your body if you get into a grappling situation, whereas these will bend and eventually snap. So just like Tier 1 concealed, I would just swap those out for DCC clips immediately. Now, something else I would recommend with a holster like this, and this would go for, honestly, offerings from any other sidecar style holster. Now, an important concealment property is going to be leverage below your belt line. And when you have a shorter gun like a Glock 19 like this, you don't have a lot of leverage below your belt line, and because of that, it can spill out a little bit. A wedge definitely remedies that. But something you can do to offset that is if you have a Glock 19, order a holster for a Glock 17. Just that extra bit of length underneath your belt line can help leverage the gun, and if you do put a wedge on it, can actually amplify the effects of the wedge. So while this holster is for a Glock 19, if I were getting one for myself, I would order one for a Glock 17. The only reason I wouldn't do that is if I had a big belly and I had to wear the gun underneath my belly and there wasn't a lot of room underneath the belt line where the bottom of the holster might be crashing into my thighs or groin or something. So the first thing with negatives, talking about options and accessibility, I was looking at the T.Rex Arms website at the Sidecar holster, and I did not see an option for the height of the sweat guard. I normally prefer a high sweat guard because my sweat likes to create surface rust on the slides of my guns, so I need a high sweat guard. This looks like a mid, maybe even a low sweat guard, and I did not see an option on the website to bring it up to a high sweat guard. Maybe it's because I was on mobile or maybe I missed it, but take a look because I didn't see a way that you could do that. And for them to create all these options over here, it's kind of weird that they didn't create an option here, unless it's just to streamline the manufacturing process. I mean, you're gonna have to make sacrifices to keep lead times down. Tier 1 Concealed's lead times right now are 4 weeks, and some people are seeing it even longer than that. Next up, the concealment claw or wing. This thing does not stick out that far, and I found that when I put my belt on it, my belt was barely making contact with it, and because of that, it wasn't really pushing the grip of the gun against my body. Now, it looks like you could probably bend this thing out to get a little more claw, but I mean, eventually it's gonna bend back, so I'm not a fan of the design of the claw. I don't think it's as effective as it could be. Another reason the claw isn't engaging as well as it could is because it is mounted on the back of the holster. I feel like maybe if it was mounted up here up front that it would be able to apply more leverage to the gun, but maybe that would create some stress problems on the Kydex. I'm not sure what went into that design decision, but I would like an option for a deeper claw. It is 100% better than no claw, don't get me wrong. It does its job, I just feel like it could do the job a little better. There is also no kind of claw or ribbing, anything sticking out of the magazine character again. Select your character. There is also no kind of ribbing or claw or any raised spots on the mag carrier to push the mag carrier against your body either. So I have found that this holster has a tendency to kind of spill out over your belt line, which would make it a mandatory wedge. If I didn't drop it, wedge, in my opinion. I think that you probably are gonna need a wedge on the T.Rex Arms Sidecar if concealment is your #1 goal. I think that this thing makes an excellent holster in every regard. The only thing is it just does not offer maximum concealment. This is definitely, one of those holsters where I would see people saying, man, I just cannot conceal an Appendix. And it's because it's just missing a few small details that would allow it to be more concealable. Let me throw this on for you so you can see what I'm talking about. So I always like to wear tighter t-shirts on these concealment videos just to kind of really show in an extreme case how the gun would print. Because obviously I could throw on a baggy shirt and be totally fine here. But as you can see, we're definitely getting a line right across here, and the grip is poking out a little bit. In a tight t-shirt, this just isn't really cutting it. Try to just pull the shirt down a little more. Yeah, you can see this line right up here, and you can see it poking out a little bit. And if I raise up my shirt, you can see how it is spilling out just a little bit. Maybe if yeah, there we go. You can see right there that it is spilling out just a little bit. So like I said, probably a mandatory candidate for a wedge. So I'm just gonna toss this wedge in there to see what kind of difference that it makes. All right, now I've got the medium wedge in there, and we can see, I think it's making a little bit of a difference. We don't really have that hard line up here. We're just getting a little bit of grip pokey, and this is a Glock 19. It's not like it's a Glock 17 or anything. Yeah, it's making a little bit of a difference. I think at the very least, the whole unit is not spilling out as much as it was. And I think if that claw was engaging a little more and pushing the grip closer to my body, we'd get a lot more concealment. Now, even though concealability maybe isn't as good as it could be in a tight t-shirt like this, it is still an extremely efficient holster. I interrupt your normal programming to remind you to like this video, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It tells YouTube to show this video to more people. Thanks a bunch. Now back to the video. Now, you know, I'm still going to do a direct comparison video with the Tier 1 Concealed Access Elite. I just feel like I need to show this in this video just so people can really understand. Now, this is a full-size Staccato XC with an X300 weapon light and a magwell on it with no wedge on the Access Elite, and this is the kind of concealment that I get out of it. And with the attention to detail and the concealment properties in the Access Elite, you can actually see it pushing way closer up against my body. Now, in my opinion, this is just a more concealable holster, and it still maintains the efficiency that the Sidecar from T.Rex Arms has. Now, I am still going to do a dedicated comparison video between the T.Rex Arms Sidecar and the Tier 1 Concealed Access Elite, and what small details make this more concealable in my opinion, and what makes the Sidecar more versatile. I really think that there's a certain philosophy of use that the Sidecar from T.Rex Arms is going to excel in, especially with all of the different attachments you can get with this hinge attachment system. But I just really cannot drive it home enough that the T.Rex Arms Sidecar is an extremely high quality product. If you have one on the way, you did not make a bad decision. The T.Rex Arms Sidecar is an excellent, high quality product. If you've already ordered one and it's on the way, don't worry, you made a good choice. If you're thinking about getting a T.Rex Arms Sidecar, it is a very high quality product, and I love the versatility that this attachment system offers. And it just normally comes with the attachment that removes the mag carrier and just turns it into a 2-clip single holster. If you were ordering from Tier 1 Concealed, you would be paying for 2 holsters. You'd be getting a Xiphos V2 and an Access Elite. With the T.Rex Arms Sidecar, you're getting just a single holster along with a Sidecar style holster. To me, that is innovative, creative, and competitive. I would recommend the T.Rex Arms Sidecar holster to anyone. I hope you enjoyed this review of the T.Rex Arms new Sidecar holster. It was great seeing you guys again, everyone. Seeing you guys again, everyone. Well, thanks for stopping by and checking out this video on the T.Rex Arms new Sidecar holster. I'll see you in the next video. I'm Brett, and this was Nightwood Guns. Nightwood out.